Hi everyone. This video is to go over the final project. This isn't the exact same final project that we had prepared for the in-person class, but what is what we have prepared for the distance learning version. So the final project is basically going to be broken into two parts: spectroscopy and conductivity. And we're going to look at it in terms of Gatorade. And all of this can be completed remotely. So that's basically what we have available for you. So I want to talk in this video about how the project is going to work, what is expected of you, where you can find information, stuff like this. So basically how this project is going to work is your drafts, so you're going to have a rough draft for spectroscopy and a rough draft for conductivity, and then a final report for each. But these are going to have two parts, an introduction and a data analysis part. Okay. So the introduction is going to be 300 words, and you're going to essentially answer these questions during the introduction, but there's a few things to note about that. One, you don't want your introduction to be a list of answers to questions. You want it to flow as if someone has not read the questions, they can still follow along, right? So you're going to write it in complete sentences and then in paragraphs, and it's just going to flow as if it's a document. The other thing is, we don't expect you to necessarily answer every single one of these questions. We don't expect you to not write things that aren't asked in these questions. You can write what you like. The questions are there as a guide to basically give you some idea of what you might want to write about. So how does a spectrophotometer measure absorbance? So you could write several sentences on this topic, probably even more, and this is something you could pretty easily Google. So your introduction is going to be 300 words. You're going to analyze and answer these types of questions. So that's basically that. You're also going to have one for conductivity. I would also like to note that you did do a lab where you did spectrophotometry. That was experiment 14 of this semester, and you actually did one for conductivity, which is experiment 2 of last semester. So there are actually videos where we talk in great detail about these things, or I talk in great detail about these things, so you could refer to those. Again, experiment 14 and experiment 2 from Gen Chem 1, and you know our YouTube channel, so you can find that there. What about the data analysis section? Well, the data analysis section, if you go to the distance learning section, okay, you can find final project data for spectroscopy. Okay, and that's here. So here is your calibration curve, and we actually graphed it for you because if there could be some technical difficulties of doing that, and then we give you the Gatorade absorbance, and you could talk about how you could determine the amount of this, in this case, blue dye in this Gatorade sample. So essentially, that is what you're going to do for your data analysis section. So you can include the graph, and we already did it for you because again, some people may not be able to easily make that graph, and you can then calculate the absorbance of the unknown. So that is, not a super lot of data analysis, but it is something that you can basically comment on. All right, so on April 3rd, you'll have a rough draft for spectroscopy. You'll receive some information from your TA about the spectroscopy, and then you'll make some corrections or whatever, and then you will submit a final draft. Similar for conductivity. Again, for your introduction on conductivity, there are some questions, or you could look at experiment 2, and you write your 300 words, and then you analyze the data, which you can find in the same place for the conductivity on Blackboard. So you can find it here, and then you can download that. So we also provided for you the final project calibration curves as a Word file, so that way you have access to them here if you can't get the Excel to open for whatever reason. So these are basically what the final project is. It's not exactly the same as we had planned for the in-person class, where you actually would have made these calibration curves and made all these solutions and all of this kind of stuff, but we did basically provide some data for you to analyze and to write the introduction for. This is really important. Plagiarism is essentially the only way to receive a poor grade on the project. Please do not copy off the internet. Please do not copy off of each other. Please do not copy out of the lab manual, because other students might do that and then we'll think you copied off each other. So just please don't copy, okay? Please write everything in your own words. You can view your safe assign score and resubmit if you feel that is a good idea. So thanks for watching this video, and I think by the time you're watching this, you've kind of gotten the hang of what's going on. So we hope that the rest of your semester is going well. Thanks a lot.